Welcome back to another weekend edition of Coffee Time with TD. Let's get to it. I know that the world is a very, very, very intense place right now, so I urge you to take this weekend, take every weekend, enjoy it, be with your friends, your loved one, and just take a deep breath and relax. Have a glass of wine, watch football, and just do what I do and try to escape reality. I do have something kind of important to talk to you about today, and it's something that I have realized in this election. What's really on the table is people not being able to afford life. That's really what matters most. And I think the Democrats, Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, whoever it is, Pelosi, have let things go too far left. And I don't know if there is any path back for them this election or any time really. I've said that this election is about hatred, fascism, ageism, sexism, all those things. And what I've realized is that people are against racism, fascism, ageism, sexism, whatever it might be, but they're not anti. They're not anti-racism, fascism. They're not. It's not a deal breaker for them if it means that they can afford groceries, if it means they can afford health care, if it means they can afford a loaf of bread. Because when you're anti-racist, racism, fascism, hatred, bigotry, ageism, sexism, whatever it means, that means you fight it. That means you fight it. And the United States, I think, and I'm scared to death to say this, we are going to find out that the overwhelming majority are against it. We're non-racist, we're non-fascist, but we're not anti. And I get it. And I think that the Democrats only have themselves to blame. Americans, what happened with Hurricane Helene, cost of living, being able to afford groceries, child care, just what I call the cost of life. What I call the cost of life. And there is this thing, this belief that a Republican in office is better for the economy, which is the ultimate con the world has ever seen. And then add to that, you have Donald Trump, the ultimate finesser, the ultimate confidence man the world has ever seen. Perception is reality, and the Democrats and Donald Trump have controlled the perception. There is a perception that Donald Trump is a successful businessman, when in fact he's gone bankrupt 6 times and is an absolute fucking disgrace. But the perception is that he is going to save the United States economy, when he could not even save his own companies from going bankrupt 6 times. But again, all of this to me is kind of irrelevant, because I've had a real eye-opening over the past week and realized that people in America, they are not anti-racism, fascism, ageism, sexism, bigotry, whatever it is, they're against it. And it is not a deal breaker for them. And I think that America in a few weeks is going to understand and see that up close and personal. It's not going to be a deal breaker for him. And I think I'm worried that Trump is going to win because, again, there is a perception that having a Republican in office in the big seat in the presidency is better for the economy. And Donald Trump is the ultimate finesser and confidence man the world has ever seen. And as I've said, when you let the devil in, don't expect the devil to stop being the devil. And I am worried. I'm worried that this election is going to have even more severe consequences that I even understand. I think America could go back to the 40s, 30s and 40s. Because again, Americans aren't anti-racism, fascism. They're against it. Hey, we don't want that to happen. And then they go back to drinking their beer, watching TV, wish that wouldn't happen, whatever. They're not anti. And what matters most right now to Americans, they see all the money being sent to Ukraine, now to Israel, and they say, what about us? What about us? Hurricane Helene. What about us not being able to afford groceries? What about us? And America and the Republicans and Donald Trump have tapped into that. What about us? And the Democrats, they see what's happened to cities, Democratic cities. And I think the Democrats and Kamala Harris, Tim Walz are going to understand that, we went too far left and we did not really understand that just under the surface, how much hatred and racism, fascism is there, and what really Americans, the majority, care about. They put their pocketbook over everything. Can I afford groceries? Can I afford daycare? Can I afford school? Can I afford health insurance? That is what Americans care about. And I think you're going to see that in a couple of weeks. And I'm almost certain that Donald Trump is going to win. I'm holding out hope. I'm holding out faith and belief. But I just don't know. And I'm absolutely fucking terrified. Because I've understood that. And I've had to come to understand what Americans care about most. Hurricane Helene, $750 from FEMA, whatever it is. And I think the Democrats have made some mistakes. And as I've said, life has consequences and repercussions. The decisions and choices that come with it. And I'm scared to death. Let me know what you think. Let me know if I'm being crazy, nuttier than squirrel shit. I'm sending you all of my love on this Saturday. Grande Beso. Don't take more than you need. Be a good person and get in the fight. Fight like hell. See you tomorrow. Lots of love.